All instruction has to be interactive. I say something, you say something, I say something, you say something, I write something, you write something, I do something, you do something, I say something, you say something. It never can be I say something, 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 see you tomorrow. Raise your hand if some of your children, under those circumstances, might check out. Raise your hand if that might happen. So that's what we're going to discuss, is how to have that great engagement through active participation.
But here's where we found most of the lack of equity, David, and that was in the opportunities to respond. And we all know that we need to have kids constantly say things, write things, do things in our lessons. That this is one of the major findings in terms of having equity, having everyone say it, everyone write it, everyone does it. But we found there was quite a bit of polishing on practices. And this is to give you the eye of looking deeper at your practices to see if they're truly equitable. Okay, so we know that responses make a difference. The kids are more on task, more learning, and they're less likely to be disruptive. Okay, so when we saw specific ways of having the students participate, we often found that the behavior, the teaching behavior was there, but it needed to be polished so that it would make a difference in terms of student learning and in terms of equity. So I might have kids say answers together, but I have to be certain I give think time and clear signals. And that's what we saw missing. So that the teacher would say, have the student say an answer, but they didn't say it together because they didn't have signals for it. So what happens then? What happens if the teacher doesn't have a signal for choral responses? Well, some students learn, I'm just going to sit back and wait till Jason says it and mimic his answer. Not think about it, I'm just going to mimic it. So that was a clear polish that we needed.
When the answers are very short, we're going to say the answers together. I'll ask a question. I will put up my hands. This says think, do not blurt. And when I lower my hands right there, you'll say the answer. Got it? Okay, ooh, good job sitting up. So get ready. So everybody, what day of the week is it? Everyone, it's?
November.
The day of the week is Friday. Oh, I can't believe you'd forget that. Let's try it again. So what day of the week is it? Think?
Friday.
Think? Everyone. Friday. Now let's practice that again. This is think. You don't say it until I lower my hands right there. Okay? So what day of the week is it, everybody? It's?
Friday.
All right.
Or when we looked at partner responses, we know that the teacher should select the partners. If I allow children to select their own, someone's going to be left out. Someone is not going to be chosen. I do not want to give that a reality to any child. Lack of equity. I'm going to pick the partners and I'm going to label them. Why? Because if I just say turn and talk, then one person's going to take over and dominate. Lack of equity. But if I say ones tell your partner, twos tell your partner, then I can control that. They're having equal opportunities to share answers. See how equity is in the details? And then I'm going to give a directive that everybody can follow. And maybe even a sentence starter to support and scaffold their answer. But I'm also going to give both of them a job. Ones, you're going to tell your partner this answer. Twos, you are going to tell them if you agree or disagree with their answer. Again, inclusiveness, everybody's involved, everybody has a job.
I have popped into your world when you are doing a whole unit in geometry on what shape, everyone? Circles, okay? And so on your slate, draw a circle. Make it not a small, a medium-sized circle, but draw a circle. And one will do. Now, in your book, they define a circle, as we review this vocabulary, they define a circle as a set of, what, everyone? Points in a plane, and those points are, what? Equal distance from the center. So everybody add a center. And ones. Pretend your partner has not ever been in this class, thus does not know the definition in your geometry book of a circle. I want you to use your circle to explain this definition of a circle. Once you are the teacher, teach it using it. For example, I might say something like this. So a circle, first of all, is on one plane and it has a center. But each around here there were, and so you're going to explain it. Ones, explain it to your partner using your image on your paper.
There's a circle on the plane here. A circle, and from this distant because so I'm going to say point. Yeah.
Perfect, and fall silent, looking up here. Every single group I heard only excellent, excellent, very clear explanation. So you said a circle is defined as a set of points where each point is equal distance from the center. So this point is the same distance to the center as this point, as this point, as this point, and we can have an infinite number of points on there. Excellent. Well, keeping your drawing right there, you have also looked at the term radius. Everybody add a radius to your diagram. Okay, show me. Perfection. Twos. Tell your partner using your diagram as if they had never been here, radius. Tell them what radius is.
Individual turns. I am not going to have them volunteer. Occasionally, I might say, raise your hand if you've had a similar experience, and I might call on some students. But for the most part, we're just saying no to volunteers because of all of our practices, this one is the least equitable. Why? I ask a question, kids raise their hands, I call on a student, they have more experiences than other students, they are more assertive, a higher performing student, and they give an answer. And I then assume that everybody else has that same answer in their head, and I move on. So none of us would be doing that now. One of the major things in terms of equity is just say no to raised hands. Instead, use some, set them up for success and randomly call on them. You want to pull sticks, you want to have an app on your phone, but have distribution of responses.